Well, hello and greetings to my dear friends. Let's have a backtest together on Monday of this week. I came and activated the robot for you. Let's speed it up a bit so that it can capture the results. For us, from the beginning of the morning until the end of the day, you can see the spread here. Look at this part of the history. Notre tête and this spirit is fixed. You will see that if you open a trade on this $10,000 account, it will give you $23 first. It will deduct the commission from you. Then, if your trade moves in the right direction, it will calculate your trade for you. There are a number of friends who come to backtest the robot, and those who are now... I change robots. I don't have backtests for robots, my dears. We don't want them to have long-term backtests for themselves because of the cases that come up. And because we said that 70% of the work is done by the robot and 30%, you, dear user, have to sit behind your system. And these backtests that I have for you are all live on the market. Now on Monday, so if you dears bring them, the day will be over. I'm posting backtests for you every day. You bring the market on Monday, wherever the robot traded for you, you can see the bottom of your chart and the trades. Where did it open? How could you manage it? What would you do if you were there? What would you do at that moment if the robot traded for you? They've made a lot of big trading mistakes so that they can manage their capital. When a trend is established and the price hits a cycle ridge, yet without a decision, your trades will be interrupted. But when you have your robot active on your chart, it will help you not to interrupt your trades and do strange things. Ultimately, it will manage your losses because it is closing them for you according to the ATR, and you will only close and manage your trades in profit. Now let's see where the first signal opens for us. I have made $10,000 in deposits. Another thing I wanted to tell you is that for those who are working with prob, I have made this account as if it were a prob account. You are trading exactly 110 more on prob because you want to close that 8, right? 110 exactly on your prob account. It seems like the transaction opens right here in your prob accounts. This is how it is. If you don't have $10,000 in capital, I've said this several times in all of my posts, you can only use the exact amount of money you have in your account per day. First of all, you can't reset more than $50 per day on your account. So consider the liquidity. This account is not up to $500, so you can't invest more than $1,200, so you can't trade one lot here, especially with this robot. If you have a management rule from another company, specifically for your strategy, you know that. But here you can't trade more than a dozen or 2 dozen if you have a probe and you have it with the props are working. Now let's see if you had props and backed this robot wherever you sat on the chart until the end of the day. What could this robot do for you? And make this clear. The first trade within the core profit is close to $90 per day, between $30 and $50 if you make a profit. Now $100 for a 10,000 account, or one above your core, for example, is 1%. It seems like that counts, but when you have $1,000, you can get $50 from it, which is 5%, and that's a lot. Now let's say we have it. Look, we're in this first signal where Anna gave the same amount, and Chella gave $8, and with one mouth all your trades ended. Today. You said in the morning, you didn't want to trade, then we'll manage your trade. Close it. Don't look at it anymore. This week, $77 and $80 went into the account. You get a profit of $5 from the foreign trade. There's no need to do anything else. Okay? Let's go and see what the next trade does. It's a profit of $111. Oh, but nothing. Why do I say nothing? Because when a trader sits behind the system, they watch the entire trend. Here they were close to $82 in profit, spending nearly 82 minutes on trades, and they get tired. At these points where the market is ranging, they exit their trades. Now, if they didn't exit here, they would exit here. Yes? In all this setup, there could have been people who closed their trades, hitting this pivot. Usually you haven't made a connection yet. Usually you'll get a call. Usually you'll see that your call is $18. Those who have received this call again have been in profit since 8 o'clock. Now it's 18. Let's see if we can see that it's 20 to 30% profitable. So far, it's been close to 25 to 30%. It's close to 30% profitable here because it's on the 20% mark. The ancients could have been exiled because they had overindulged in this base. The ancients could have been exiled because they had overindulged in this base. And this trade gives you the opportunity to take profit. If you didn't close your trade, the robot would have closed it with a small loss. Now it brought it to a $5 profit, but also incurred a loss. So how much loss did this trade incur? It was $12. The first priority is to recover that $12 loss from the previous trade. A significant price movement has been established. Those following my training know. When a significant price movement occurs, the robot goes into indecision and range, and you need to be careful. Let's see what the robot does now. The first priority, as I told you in previous backtests, is to make up for the $12 you lost on the previous trade. The price has taken a big step. Those who have gained my knowledge through the training I have provided to you know that when it takes a big step, the robot goes into indecisive and range mode, and you have to be very careful. Let's activate the other version. Now let's go see what Mullah is doing. I think I could have made $12 here. Yes, he gave you $10 a week. It was in this cell because we had a previous trade where you lost. You should have made up for your previous trade in this same trade, and your account was in profit again. Now with this next signal, we're going to take the next profit. He gave you the order again. Well, this is what we said was the next deal. So in this series, it's true that the robot was closed by the Zara, but you had the opportunity to do this previous Zara that he gave you. This first loss of nearly $13 went into profit. This loss that you made, nearly $12, is compensated here. My dear, look, I'm taking the pips. With 1/10, this is $16 profit. 164 pips is close to 16 profit. If you were trading with one lot, $160 profit. Now, it's hit again. See what the next trade does. He gave you two chances to close at $11 from where it is. He gave you two chances to think that you have props. You have all your props according to the rule of 3. Take these whistles. Friends in the crowd, if those who sat down first thing in the morning and were trading on Monday, they would have made $50 or $60 by now. They could have exited the market even if you can still exit the market with a profit of $24. That's why I say you, as a user, sit behind the chart and close these trades in profit for 30% of the time. If you haven't closed the trade, the robot hasn't closed the trade yet. And now, you should see that the trade is in a loss of $5. Or it went even further, but didn't close the trade. It's happened to you. It went into a loss right there. You couldn't do anything about it. I said that since the market is in a range after a big cycle, let's see what the losing trade does. This trade has been in loss from the beginning, and we need to recover that loss first. Let's see how much it is. The account is currently in profit at $23, but it still hasn't closed the trade for you. Here, the market is in a range. Once again, it came back to the same spot where the price took a minute to reach this level. Now your trade still hasn't closed. The market is ranging. Let's see what happens. Look at those who are operating in the market based on their own strategies. They close 1,000 deals, lose again, lose again, lose again. So lose again because in this single they were so angry that they had been scolding for a few minutes and they had lost all their cool. The link has come in, but the profit of that $24 hasn't been reached yet. However, I'm watching my trades as I don't want to profit from $24. I see the market is ranging, so I'm trying to break out of this range. After this move, it's still ranging. I'm trying to exit the range and catch trends. I've mentioned this in training. Without the robot, it requires skill and expertise. Look how much time it gave. About 10 or 12 chances to exit this buy trade. It still gave you a chance. The buy trades haven't closed yet. We said, child, I'm telling you now. Without the burden of doing the robot's work, he wants a professional and professional for himself. Look how much he hit there. He gave you 10 or 12. times to get out of this buy deal. He gave you another chance. The buy deal hasn't closed yet. It gave you another 2 chances, 3 more chances in this same situation. Again, it provided you with opportunities, and in the end, your trades were closed here, and the account that we initially started with $10,000 has grown well. With the spread that is expected in each trade, it costs us about $20, about 2.30 cents. That's how much we get in commission. With the commissions that it took from us, the first $104, that is, the market was in a way that it only made a big move in the morning and then went into the range cycle. I didn't underestimate the robot. It was active on both buy and sell. You saw both the buy trades and the sell trades. You could take advantage of these trends because finally, here you have a profit of about $14. Here, this sell has given you a profit of about $19. Again, this buy has given you a profit of about $40. This sell has given you a profit of about $10, which later turned into a loss. This sell has given you a profit of about $10. And he went into profiteering several times. All of a sudden, his trades fell and he didn't close them. Another thing is that there are people who start working when they open their trades. For example, he comes and says, Bran, the robot hasn't traded yet. Because they don't receive a signal, they think that the robot is not making a trade, but the robot is doing its job correctly. This time the slave has not been back for a few hours. It's been 429 minutes since the market has a trend that it wants to give you a signal based on. So you have to do it based on that trend. This is the shaft of the trades that the robot is doing. Then he gave it to you, which resulted in a profit of $104 in that institution. We have to say these trends and all of this went into profit. Now we had a $12 trade, and I said we should close the next trade. The manager smiled and said, sorry, that was it. He made up for it in the next trade. I said about $60 went into profit. We should have taken this. Eventually we would have made the next trade that would have given you profit. It was just this $23 that I said you should close in this trade because the market is ranging. You need to know that once the market trends, you can take your trades. This is clear from the beginning of the morning to the end of the morning. You should keep your trades in mind.